Josh Komnick, the furniture guy, Jake Johnston here at the Cheap Seats, and we got a special guest, the newly acquainted Railer football coach, Coach Mack. Coach McDonald is in the house. Coach, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
No problem, and we wanted to get you on. Of course, Railer season, once you get done with the Logan County Fair, then the State Fair comes up, and you'll be in full swing here before long. When does your first official practices get to start?
First official practice is this next Wednesday. Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock. We get them up early and spend a few hours, and they're out there by 12:30, and they got the rest of the day to recuperate till the next day. We'll do some equipment handout on Monday morning, have a kind of a team meeting, pizza movie night on Tuesday night, which has kind of been a tradition for us, and get them up early next morning.
Sounds good, Coach. And yeah, that thing will be coming close. And of course, all the Railer games, as we'll go through the schedule here in just a little while. But of course, you can hear all those Railer games on 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Before we get into Coach, don't forget, Jeff number 2 is out here with the prize wheel and the vault. So come on out here and spin it. It's almost like that. What is that? Wheel of Fortune?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared right now.
There you go, Coach. Coming in as Coach Shaner, everybody knows, has gone on to Mount Vernon, and coming into after that had happened, wanting to take the job. Was that always something that your goal was always to become a head coach in this area, or even getting the chance to do it here at Lincoln?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's always been in the back of my mind. Is it a future desire, and it's just always been, I guess, pleased just to be a part of Lincoln High School and being a part of the football and baseball programs, and that was a goal that I guess probably came up a little unexpected, a little sooner than I thought. And when the opening came up, kind of wanted to jump on it and felt like that was where I was being led to be.
And you were, of course, a Lincoln High grad, and played, I'm sure, a number of sports, but let everybody remember yourself and what year you graduated and all the sports that you participated in out at LCHS.
I graduated in 1986, got a 25th year reunion coming up here. It's kind of hard to believe. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played 4 years of football, 4 years of baseball, and 2 years of basketball.
Well, and then coming into football, and give us everybody a little bit of an update. I know you weren't around here. I think you might have been in Tennessee for a little while doing some coaching, and give us an update on what you had done leading up to before you came back to Lincoln.
Well, yeah, I went to college in Tennessee and was fortunate enough to get a teaching job right out of college. Then coached down there at a different school, coached baseball and football at a program that was very successful. They were kind of the large school of their district. Had a lot of very talented athletes in speed and size, and so kind of got that experience of it, and then really just 5 years ago felt led to come back to Lincoln, and things worked out that was able to get hired out here at the high school, and glad to be back.
Hey, Coach, I think you're moving into a really good position here with Lincoln High School. All the changes have been coming along the ways, and the kids maturing with football knowledge, which we haven't had a lot of in the past. Are you making any kind of changes with the team, defense changes, or any styles or anything? What's going on with that?
Really not changing anything major. We've got I think a very strong junior-senior group. We wanted to make this transition as smooth as we can for them. We're going to change things up defensively a little bit, make some minor tweaks on offense, maybe to fit our style of this particular group of junior seniors. We really emphasize, and we've been doing that the last few years, but just the team aspect of it, and being very team-centered, and just emphasizing to the players that your number one responsibility is to make our team better. And so other than that, we're not really going to reinvent the wheel this year. I'm just going to kind of emphasize just being mentally, physically tough and aggressive, playing very hard-nosed, and just doing things as right as we can, and being well-conditioned, but nothing that most other coaches don't try to do.
Coach, coming in, when you first learned that you were going to be the head coach here at Lincoln, what was the one thing that said, this is what's going to set the program apart from the guy that was here before? What was the one thing that, hey, this is a Coach McDonald program, and number one, right when you heard that you were going to get it, what was the first thing that popped in your mind that, hey, we might have to tweak a little bit?
Nothing really sticks out other than, I guess, the one thing. I want these kids to be proud of being Lincoln football players, and I want the younger kids growing up to have a sense of pride in Lincoln football. That's something that has, over the last maybe 20 years, I think has decreased. These guys work as hard as any other sport. They come out in the summertime, and 4 days a week they're getting there early in the morning, going from 7 to 9, and really busting their tail and committing this team, a large group of them. And I don't want people to judge Lincoln football based on the wins and losses of the last 20 years. Each team is a different team. These guys work very hard. They do a lot of things right. There's a lot of success that comes in a season that is not gauged from the stands based on the scoreboard. And in that regards, I think there's been some very successful Lincoln teams. And so we want to emphasize that to the kids. We want to be very proud of what they're doing, the accomplishments, and what they're gaining from the program that's going to help them as they get through high school and out of high school into the future.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a thing of basically that's a confidence increase or level.
Sure.
Is what knowing that you can go into every game and win is a big thing as far as mentally that you may have to instill or is being instilled now when Coach Shaner left and when you're transferring into yourself now. But Coach, how has your life personally changed now being an assistant for a couple of years under our previous coach, and now being the main man? What I'm sure away from the family a little more, and all that stuff that goes into a lot of people don't understand, or personal life, that it's not only a sacrifice on yourself but your family also.
Yeah, and I kind of warned my wife and kids that it was going to be a crazy summer. And not having the off season of the winter and the spring to kind of prepare. Kind of crunching it all here in the summer, and just all the little details that I knew would happen. Maybe didn't realize how much time they take in the office. As far as just ordering equipment and organizing 7-on-7s and youth camps, and then the daily things that come up through emails and things that I'm enjoying doing it. I'm hoping I'm not going to miss something important. Get to the first game and we're missing jerseys or something like that, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it's a big time commitment, and my family's been very supportive, and I'm having to kind of choose my family time a little differently and make the best use of it. My little boy got baptized last night, so that was kind of a big boost to the summer. And
nice. Coach, has your staff changed much? Who do you got on your staff this year?
We have working for the freshman games, and again, for practices, we work together. For the most part, we will start in our practices and spend a lot of time with coaches working at different positions. As far as game days go, the freshman level, Jeff Cooper is going to go to the freshman level and run the offense there. Courtwright is going to run the defense. Who's a new coach just out of college. And then Greg Higby, who is a math teacher out the high school, we picked him up for first-year coaching this year. The sophomore level, we were in a need for somebody else to run some offense. They had a little experience running offense, so Joe Ryan is going to run the offense for the sophomore team. A new coach, Justin Whalen, is going to run our defense. And then Andrew Ryan, Coach Ryan's son, who's been this is our second year with us, is going to help out there at the sophomore level. And then Davis Hodem, who's now on his 5th year with the program, is going to be our defensive coordinator. Then I'm going to run the offense on varsity game nights. And again, we work together. Just because a guy is a freshman coach during a freshman game, he still is he's a varsity assistant in a sense. He works with the varsity kids at practice, and we'll need them on Friday night varsity games. We need them all to be contributing.
Now it's going to be a tough road. What we got? We got the first game is Rochester, right? I mean, I'm ready to mark down a W with the first one of the year, and that's when I'm wanting it. So you think you can have the kids ready for that first W?
I hope so. I think they'll shouldn't be any problem getting them up for that one. Again, I think football players are drawn to football because they like a challenge, and if you get to start off the year with the defending state champions, that's got to get you pumped up. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, Coach Mack's getting pumped up too. He's clenching his fist. Got a little smile on the face now when we talk about the first game. So getting, of course, ready for that. And Coach, you talked about the practices that you had to get, not practices, but camps that you had to get ready for. You weren't maybe knowing you were going to go to 7-on-7 camps and that thing, but not only having to get ready for them, but you had to be getting all your coaching philosophy ready. How hard was that to get the guys ready for something that you maybe throw in a little tweak in?
I don't think so far it hadn't been that difficult because, again, I attribute that to our junior seniors. I think we've got some pretty good leadership. They have been very open to me coming in. They know me well. I know most of them pretty well. I think so far it's been a pretty smooth transition over the summer. Have been able to rely on them for providing some leadership for the younger guys. And again, we're not changing anything that drastically that would bring their confidence level down. And I guess I think they've shown they've been pretty confident in what we've been doing, and picking up whatever little tweaks we've been doing, and being very coachable.
Sounds good, Coach. We've got to take a quick commercial break and pay some bills here. So when we get back, we're going to keep Coach here for another about 15 minutes. We're out here at the Merchants Building to Logan County Fair. Josh Komnick, the furniture guy, Jake Johnston, Coach McDonald, and don't forget, number 2 still over there with the prize wheel. Thumbs up, and a prize is all over. So we'll be back here in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM and WLC and online. The furniture guy, Jake Johnston, and Coach McDonald, the new head football coach out of Lincoln High, as we're going through. And, oh, yes, number 2 is still here with the prize wheel. So come on out and check him out. He's got plenty of prizes to give away. But as we've been talking with Coach Mack, we wanted to get into a little more of what we can expect of yourself as far as being a head coach, as far as the philosophy. You said you're going to run the offense. Talk to us a little bit about what the fans can come out and watch. Are we going to see the airing it out? Are we going to see the long runs, or are we going to see a little bit of everything?
Well, we're going to do what works the best, I guess, and that's yet to be seen. We've got a quarterback returning, James Leisinger, as a senior, who's I think had a very good summer. Has competed well in the 7-on-7s. And is showing to be a leader on the field. So we're hopeful that we can move the ball efficiently passing. We hope that can open up, obviously, the run game. And as far as a percentage of what we do, again, may depend on who we're playing and just how efficiently we're moving the ball.
And he lost a number of weapons from last season, but the one that really comes to mind, a guy that I watched and really enjoyed watching, was maybe one of the best wide receivers that I've seen in high school football. Around here, you don't see people throwing the ball that much unless you want to go to Rochester or something. But Darvez Stansel, of course, you're going to lose. You lost him as a senior last year, a guy that, every week we had Coach Shaner on the show, and he was having 2 to 3 touchdowns. Is that a concern for you? Do you have guys to fill in? Of course, you love to have guys like Darvez all the time, but do you have guys, maybe 2 or 3 now, that maybe aren't quite as good, but you can spread the ball around a little more?
Yeah, I think so, and hopefully that'll make us better. Teams won't be able to key on one receiver kind of like they have last year. I think we've got a handful of guys that have shown that they can catch the ball and make plays in these 7-on-7 games. Now, when we put the full pads on and add the contact to it, it's another story, and we hope that these guys will rise to the occasion and again, make us a better passing team.
Yeah, that's one thing that, you get to watch, and we get to watch some of the best teams in the state. Of course, Chatham Glenwood went far last year. Of course, Sacred Heart Griffin's always there. Rochester was a state champ. We get to see that when the good teams are good and rolling, they can spread the ball, run it, they can pass it. They're good on defense. Talk a little bit about your defense, maybe some guys that you have coming back that will lunker down the line or plug up the middle with the linebackers.
Yeah, we've got several linebackers coming back, and that's kind of one reason we're kind of tweaking our defense a little bit, is to make use of that. Andy Cruz will be a key middle linebacker for us, just a big, strong, aggressive kid. And our defense, in a way, will be centered around him a little bit. James Leisinger, who is our quarterback and one of our toughest kids, he's just a football player, and we're planning on putting him on the field defensively also this year. I think we need that. We've got several other guys, Moses Rogers, Zach Slater, Sawyer Conrady, big lineman, who we're going to depend on both sides of the ball as much as we can. Big 6'4", 300-plus pound lineman. He's getting attention from some big schools. I've got several letters from Alabama sitting on my desk right now.
Really?
I'm directed towards him. And so we're expecting big things from a lot of those guys. And again, we've just got to be, as a team, aggressive. We've got to just fly the ball and be a good team tackling team.
Coach, you talked a little bit while we were in the commercial break about you've got some more to choose from on the line. Maybe some of those guys that in the last couple of years have had to play both sides of the ball, those big linemen, it's tough for them guys to run both sides of the ball in the whole game, and I'm sure they do everything else. But you've got some more size this year to be able to hopefully maybe some of them just play on offense or defense.
Yeah, we're excited about that. We've got probably the biggest team since I've been back here in the last 5 years as far as our linemen. And we've got several guys that we believe can contribute in a very positive way, either on the offensive or defensive side of the ball. And so we're hoping for that. Most of the teams we play will platoon their linemen, other than maybe just the one stud that plays both ways. But for the most part, they're either playing an offensive line or defensive line position. And that makes a difference, when you've got a little extra time to rest on the sideline. And we just have not been able to do that in the past based on our lack of size so I think this year we're going to be able to do it. We've got some guys that obviously have to step up coming from the sophomore level and move it up a level to the varsity game.
Being that you were an assistant last year, last couple of years anyway, here at Lincoln, what age or what were you assisting here at Lincoln?
On game
Varsity?
nights with the sophomore, on games defense on sophomore games.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So kind of helped you coming into being a varsity guy, that you knew what was coming up from that sophomore level. Right. We'll talk a little bit about the preseason here before we let you go, Coach. You had to go to the camps, or you had a camp. You went to a number of 7-on-7 camps, tournaments, that kind of thing. All in all, what did you come out of those camps finding that you need to really fine-tune?
Well, again, I think every year we go into it and we want to up the toughness and aggressiveness level. And I think the last few years we've been doing it. To be a good football player, you first and foremost have got to have the desire to make the play and to do your job the way you're taught to do it. And so that's our job is to kind of educate and equip the guys into what they need to do to help motivate them to want to do it the best they can, whether it's in the most simple basic drill that we do every day or when we get into some team time. And that's just a big part of football because it's a tough sport. You're battling someone every play, every drill, and so you've got to be a physically, mentally tough kid and have some self-pride in not letting down and trying to win every drill, to win every play. And that's something that I think this is a pretty good group. I think they have a desire to succeed and just kind of continue to build on that.
Coach, looking real quick here at the schedule, we've got Rochester, of course, the first game. That's coming up on August the 26th. So just a few weeks away, we'll be traveling, actually at home against Rochester. So fans, I'm sure, will not only show up for the Railers, but they will bring their busloads and busloads as they're kind of defending their state championship, and a very talented quarterback that I've read about is going to Oklahoma State, broken an ankle. Too bad he couldn't have got released on August the 27th, but sounds like he's going to be probably back for us, isn't it, Coach?
I really haven't heard anything on that, and again, well, whoever they stick out there, we're just, we've got to do what we got to do and play the best we can. Obviously, that'll make a big difference in their team, I'm sure, and the way they run their offense, because he is a very talented quarterback. Maybe that will help raise our anticipation, I guess, knowing he's going to be out there, and we're going to build that to the guys. This is a great challenge to get to play against this quarterback. They're going to be seeing him playing probably on TV in the next few years in some big games, and so go out and to give our best effort and do what we can.
I was going to say, as a young guy, these high school kids, they're seeing this kid across the ball. They know they can sack him. They could put some hits on him and say, hey, next year they see him playing on TV. They can say, hey, I put that guy on his rear a few times,
Definitely.
That's a fun thing to say, man. It's something to get those guys motivated real good at.
Definitely.
Well, after Rochester comes to town, we travel the next weekend to Canton. And, Coach, I think we played Canton last year.
Yes,
correct?
we did.
Right? Canton, and then we've got Jacksonville at home. Looks like four home games. We've got Jacksonville at home, Chatham at home on September the 30th, and then Taylorville at home on October the 14th. We've got, of course, Lanphier, Springfield Southeast on the road, Springfield on the road, and then Sacred Heart Griffin on a Thursday night at Memorial Stadium. That's a little different.
Yeah, I guess there were some conflicts on Friday or Saturday night for that, so that will be a kind of a short week leading into the SHG game.
Yeah, you come off beating Taylorville at home, and then you've got to travel, get ready basically and bake 2 days because, you probably take Sunday off, and then we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and can't probably do too much on Wednesday, so you keep some legs for those guys to run around against the Cyclones.
Right, and fortunately that's a game, like most of our games, that it shouldn't be that hard to get up for.
Right. As powerful as they have been. Now, Coach, I got to ask you here before we go. We had Coach Shaner on after every game, and of course you've agreed to come back on every Saturday. Now I've always worried on Friday nights or Saturday mornings if he was going to be able to talk the next day here on the radio show. Are you that rowdy running up and down the sideline screaming type of guy like Coach Shaner was, or can we expect to have the voice every Saturday?
I think I'll have my voice on Saturday. Yeah, I think we're a little different personality in that regards.
Sure.
Most of my voice, I think, will be going maybe during the week in practice,
there you go,
as opposed to the Friday night game.
Okay. All right. So, listeners, you will be able to hear our new football coach on the radio every Saturday after the game, 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.
One more thing, Coach. I'm looking at the schedule, and I'll be honest, man. It looks like maybe 2 losses this year, and that second loss was because you put the freshmen in to rest the guys for the playoffs. So, good luck this year. I'm looking forward to this big season, man.
That sounds great. You could be onto something right there, Jake.
I like this, right? Huh?
There's the expert opinion and what the Railers will finish from the furniture guy, Jake Johnston, as he always gives his prediction, as he would the Cardinals winning the World Series. So I'm not sure how well that will go. But, Coach, hey, we want to thank you for coming in. We're going to have you back here every Saturday after every Railer game, and to hopefully many Railer W's to talk about, and a lot of exciting action. We want to give the listeners August the 26th is the first Railer game, so get out there and support the Railers as you always do. August the 26th, that'll be Rochester. You can't beat the first game at home against the defending state champions. So, Coach, thanks for coming in. Have a good here next 3 weeks before you hit the ground running with the practices and get those guys ready for us.
Thank you, Josh and Jake.
All right, that's going to do it out here from the Merchants Building. We've had a fun day. We want to thank Coach McDonald for stopping by here and giving us an update on the Railer program. And we will have the prize vault till at 6 to 8. Number 2, of course, will have his live show out here at the Merchants Building. So come out here. You've got prizes to win. Spin the wheel. And I want to thank Jake for coming in. I want to thank everybody for listening. That's going to do it here for the Logan County Fair. Make sure you check in at 6 o'clock for the number 2 show. And he'll be out here from 6 to 8. So that's going to do it. Josh Komnick, the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.